So this is the review or the flip through of my sketchbook, which I had promised a few days ago or maybe a weeks ago. This is the first sketchbook I ever bought that was A4. It was really big. This is for character design challenge. The topic was warrior mouse. And you can see that I almost had it here, but then I decided to draw another one, and it came out a little bit better, but all this is filled with sketches of mice holding weapons. I also used to draw on this side of the page, because I just wanted to use the most out of my sketchbook, but I just started using materials that would show from one page to the other. This is a very dear friend of mine, Sarah. It was her birthday. We draw sketches for each other as birthday gifts. I was designing some stickers to award as achievements for drawing students. Some portraits with reference. This was of Kim Jong-il, which he signed in 2019. I guess that's its signature, although it's not Korean, but anyway. And here are a couple of drawings with reference, a couple of drawings with no reference, and you can see how awkward and wonky these are. And even though this is a caricature of Bryan Cranston, it's still sort of grounded in believableness, and it looks more solid than these ones we're using a reference. There's also some sketches from a friend of mine. This one's me, although the chin's all wonky, but these are all people that I know. I can't name them all, otherwise I won't be finished with this sketchbook video. It's another friend of mine, kind of came out looking like him. You know who you are, Philippe. Came out looking like him, even though I didn't really use reference. He's just a very iconic person. Mariana Sara. I have to go back to name the other ones. So this is a couple of designs that I tried. I was really into the whole idea of putting your pen down and then kind of drawing something without lifting the pen, see where the shapes would take you. And it was kind of interesting, like this little fist here was kind of cool. More designs for characters for a game, ink pen drawings. I really like my sketchbook to look like it's multiple people using it rather than just one person, because it kind of feels like it's, I don't know, it just kind of feels more interesting to me that it's different styles on every page. I use my sketchbook kind of like as a gym for my skills. This is a first of a series of drawings that I did. This is a Drawing Your Style of Jean Fuse. And for some reason I just did it in this style. I just thought it'd be interesting. Do like an old children's book illustration, like one of those weird children's book illustrations. And then it kind of spawned, as you can see, it's showing through. So this is my grandma who passed away, and a few months after I kind of drew this, as a momentum, I guess. And this is what these are all like felt pens or ink pens that there's no underlay drawing. I think there was a little bit in this one. You can kind of see some lines here. The camera doesn't pick it up, but oh no, actually there's a few more. This one didn't have any underlay drawing, but then I was just like, wow, this came out nice. I want to do more. Let me not mess this up, so I started doing underlaying drawings. And this is just the shape of my old cell phone. I would just put the cell phone on the page, draw around it, and then sort of come up with something to put inside. I'm going to do a couple of vertical ones. This one I still really like quite a lot. I wish I had spaced out the shading a bit more so that this would look lighter. This one's a little too busy, and this one's fine, I guess. This is a caricature of a friend of mine as well, Bernard, and this was like drawn. You can see that this is blue, this is brown, because the pen ran out of ink and I had to swap pens. All of these are referenceless. Again, I like not using reference on my sketchbook because I want to see how I am doing in terms of skill. This is a little sort of spicy page because this was done as sketches for a book that I applied a drawing for. I didn't get in, but I wanted to do it anyway. It's also the first sketchbook where I started saving scraps, which I hadn't done before. So this is me explaining the volume of a torso to someone, and then I just drew this in the back. I kind of discovered like a gold pen. I don't know if the sheen comes off, but I just liked drawing with that. Della Longfish also signed this because this is kind of inspired in God of War. And again, more wacky caricatures in pen. This is ballpoint pen and a little bit of pencil for the shading, and gold pen as well. But these, I do not know how to explain these to you, but I just drew these. One day I just drew them. I don't know. I really don't know. I just drew them. This is all Pentel brush pen. Isometric buildings, which I really like doing. It's very fun exercises in perspective, because the perspective is really, once you get it, it's really simple to keep doing. So your drawings are always going to look Nice. This is a little too light, but this was kind of, I wanted to do like a really busy page inspired in Mobius, but of course you can only be inspired. You can't really replicate, um, you know, you can't replicate someone like it. This is a design for a character for a game that I started designing, really never finished it. It was basically someone had been deprived of food for so long that the skin of the color of the skin changes and everything. I really got into cafe racers a while back. This was before I got my motorcycle, but I got really into cafe racers, and these are all drawn from photos I saw online. Like the back cowl here is a little too big for this. I don't know, it's probably a Ducati. This is a CX500 Honda. You can tell by the engine. I don't know what this one is, but it's cool. This is just another weird drawing. This is like multiple people in the same space, like multiple arms and everything. So again, weird drawings, more faces. This one is of a friend of mine, Sarah, and she used to work across from me in the office, and I just draw her face, and it actually looks like her quite a lot, which was surprising because it's a fairly small portrait and done, very like sketchy. The reason why this guy is singing is because I drew the head all wrong, and I had to justify the fact that his head was all wrong is because he had to lean in to speak to the microphone. So, sometimes you can kind of save bad mistakes. This is just fountain pen or ink pen drawings. I mean, pencil. Actually, pencil. These are like things that I saw from the balcony of my in-laws. A house I think that I came up with, I imagined. This one I saw, and this I also copied from something I was seeing. Another weird, who knows, but just experimenting with shapes. The girl from, I think the third season of Stranger Things, this eye's a little high. Can you see? It's a little wonky. It's probably because of where I was drawing it from. And this is a piece of tablecloth from a restaurant. I started drawing these and they came out nice, so I decided to stick them onto the sketchbook. This is not my page. This is a page by Mariana. I absolutely love this page. I will not show it longer because it's amazing. This is an idea I had of like a moment, snapshot moment, but the posing, the gesture, and the sort of the body movement is really stiff. It didn't work. This is way better. As you can see, this guy was supposed to replace this guy. And this is just really a lot better. This is a drawing of someone I follow on Twitter. They just had a nice photo and I just used it. This is a few, like, if you can tell, this is an X-Wing. These are all X-Wings, and I just started drawing with a thumbnail for a Star Wars movie where someone is stranded on a different planet with their X-Wing and trying to get an antenna up for communication. That's kind of what I want to do. I also wanted to test out whether or not you could do pencil drawings for thumbnails. Oh man, I'm not even halfway. From the balcony of my in-laws, more pencil sketches, different character shapes. This is kind of inspired by the Army of the Dead in Lord of the Rings. Oh, barely empty pages. Cool. Another portrait signed by Karl Kopinski. This is actually him. This is studies to get here. He was such a sweet guy. And these are drawings inspired by his work, of course, because he's a fucking legend. These are drawings exactly before going to my first Trojan horse of the unicorn. This is, of course, reference that this was done in the airport. And that's why, like, the chin's a little too big. But the lighting is interesting. Like, underneath lighting, this is really interesting to try because it's not very common that you see it. Potential promo image sketch for a game I was working on, a VR game I was working on. Really cool, like, shape. I really like this guy and this guy, too. These are from people in the airport. And I was waiting. And Carl, again, signed another portrait I did of him when he was drawing. Again, really cool guy. More people, live drawing sessions from Trojan Horse. I tried to draw along with Carl, but then someone dragged me away, but it was coming out quite nice. Ink pen, ballpoint pen, pencil drawings from a skull. Again, character design challenge. The theme was gargoyle. I started drawing gargoyles from the web, and I started coming up with my own designs, like my own layouts. There's a few ideas here that I liked. Like, I really like this one. And I did this, actually, but it didn't look like anything interesting. So then I started thinking about a militia group that would perch themselves on top of cathedrals and shoot down targets, like assassins or something. I gave them, like, like Baroque motifs, and they would call themselves the gargoyles. And this is kind of what it looked like in the end, or the design. So the design looked like, but then I made an illustration in digital. Someone I saw on the train, it was the persons I saw on the train side view as I imagined it. A few other pages that are just started doodling around. This one I did make like this spherical perspective kind of thing. A kind of, I guess is Ryu beating Guile, because obviously, kind of empty pages. Oh, this is a different pencil that I got from my friend João. It's a really cool pencil, very soft shading. You can't see, but there's a fish in his pocket. But it's really nice because the shading gets to be really soft. This is another design. Draw this in your style for another friend of mine. This is actually a caricature of João. Kind of. Doesn't really look like him all that much. I made this, and then I made an underlying here of drawing, and then I asked my friend Ricardo to kind of draw over it, like fix my shapes. And Ricardo does this really nice gestural female body, because I'm not really good with, the template female body, so to speak. This one I really like. This one is ink only, no underdrawing, and was an exercise in prediction. I really wanted to see if I could draw this in one take without drawing pencil first. And there's a few things that are wrong. I don't know if you can tell that the person is pointing at us, but there's a few things of lighting that I really like. And this is all stuff that I learned from drawing and redrawing images from Ian McCagg, who is one of my favorite illustrators of all time. Mustang, more drawings. This is for a game. More spicy images. This is going to be like on the timeline of YouTube, the one that's going to have the more views. Another sketches. This is like ink sketches of like what trees look like in Calvin and Hobbes, especially this one. It's not very focused on the camera, but drawings more. Some vehicles. A Vespa, my favorite car. Two beautiful cars. The GT40, the Miura as well. We're missing an Aston Martin DB9. This is a Triumph Cafe Racer in the Mini Cooper over there. This is actually a document. This is a Bill Hader caricature. One of his eyes slightly more closed. I don't know as well. Again, I did this and I thought it's so stiff, and then I tried doing just the gestural drawing, and this is so much better than this. Even though it's missing all the shading, but of course I can do the shading because I've done it in this one, so maybe I should have started with this. That's like the lesson to take from this. A couple of caricatures. This is based on the Datsun Fair Lady, the 240 or 260, and this is based off I think it's Celica liftback, I think a 2000 GT liftback. This is a dress that was designed by my kid, and she asked me to properly draw it. Sketches for a paladin character in the style of Overwatch. Ended up never modeling it this time. Designs for a VR scene. The bassist from my band kind of looks like him, to be fair. This is a drawing of Dave what? Oh shit, Stenbrink. I think it's Stenbrink. If it's not, sorry Dave. Yeah, I did this unprompted, and it turns out that in an art trade he was actually meant to draw my portrait, so that was cool. These are drawings from the motorcycle dealership, and I had my motorcycle service it. This was a Fireblade, the CBR Fireblade, and this is just something I came up with at the time. Again, based off of the engine from the CX500 or the Moto Guzzi. People from the train as I was going to THU 2021, so again 2019 to 2022. This is bang out of order. That's the joke from Tim Vine. More car caricatures because they're always fun to do. As you can see, again, the drawings showing up from the page. This is live drawing from THU 2021. Just ink. I was kind of exaggerating the shadows on the people, and then I sort of gave up and started using the other pencil I had. The style of shading in these ones is actually my favorite style of shading. This is where I'm the most comfortable, and this is where I get most enjoyment from my drawings. It was two people, and some of them they would do interaction between the two. It's really, really cool. It's 5-minute sketches. All these, I think, are 5-minute sketches. So that's nice. This is someone else's drawing. I don't remember. I think it's Carlos. If not Carlos, it's probably, I don't remember. This was a thing in THU. You'd scan people's badges. This was landscapes based on Austria, which I visited. And another faded drawing, ink pen of buildings. This is a neighbor of mine, has a really low motorcycle and he's really big. Characters for a game, it's just designing shapes from afar, seeing how simple I can get and still be able to tell them apart. Waiting for my kid to come back from English classes. More sketches from I don't know what these are. Buildings for the game I just mentioned, or just the designing the church and cemetery area. This is my friend Ricardo once again. This is a failed attempted drawing as well. Another pencil sketch, some bags and a jacket. Waiting, this is sketches of me just waiting for someone. I just came up with this little kind of, like vampire-y guy and then just figure out poses, which I thought were interesting. And this is drawing from my childhood. From the moment of my childhood, I remember my grandfather sharing a persimmon with me by spooning out bits and pieces of it. And I just remember sitting there. It was a cool memory, cool drawing to make. A bad sketch of my wife in the hospital. That's kind of why she looks a little unhealthy. And there's this one drawing here, which is a copy of a painting from Greg Mansions. He was painting a scene from Blade Runner, and I just copied his drawing. He was again also so very nice. And these are some of the stickers that I glued back. I have a few from Jesus, I have a few from Chu, Vera, Maria, Max, Greg as well. I have no idea who this one is from. This is from, who's this from? This is from Sada, I think, and this is from George. Anyway, this is the sketchbook. It's time to put it away, seal it, and then I'll start a new one. And if I ever finish this one, and any time soon, I will again do another video. And thank you so much for sticking around to see this, and hope you guys have fun. Bye-bye.